From Monday to Tuesday, you don't have any fun. From Wednesday to Thursday, just gonna out for a run. Friday and Saturday, you're always getting drunk. And Sunday, you stay at home and never go to church.
My Night Outers, welcome to another fun-filled episode of MyNightOut Radio. This is DJ Psyco Eddie. Of course, on the soundboard, we have Mr. Tony Jones.
Man, it was great to hear some Mustache Ride coming in. Those, not Tony Jones and the Cretin 3, but my old band, the Goners, played a ton of shows with those guys. And I'll tell you real quick, we played a show way out in the backwoods of Vermont, but like the yuppie part of Vermont. So we're leaving the show. We stayed overnight. We're leaving the show in the morning. We're all starving, and we walk into this little yuppie Vermont diner. And when I tell you, it's like the scene in every movie where the record stopped. When we walked in the door of that place, you know, you get all these people with their ski outfits and their sweaters. You know, they all look like the Kennedys. And here comes Tony Jones and the Cretin 3 and Mustache Ride looking for some breakfast. Everybody in the diner turned and looked when we walked in the door.
Well, yes, that as you could probably tell by what Mr. Jones just said, that was Mustache Ride. The name of the song was Viceroy. Also in studio tonight, I don't know for how long, but we have Chuckles the Clown. He's going to be taking the place of Mr. George Garner, who is amongst the missing right
MIA.
now. George, if you know where you are, let us in on the secret. Now, I have been putting myself in harm's way for over 2 years now, just over 2 years, for your entertainment. And this is going to be one of the better shows because I have done hamburgers.
Yes.
And I've done the hell out of the hamburgers.
That's one of, we have Rhode Island Food Fights in from time to time, and one of my favorite events through those guys is the burger passes, man. I make the effort to try to hit all the restaurants. In true Rhode Island form, if something's in like Foster Gloucester, I don't go, but it's one of my favorite events that they do.
Well, you see, with the coffee event that they do, I actually started to travel in time because I had like 4 to 5 coffees in a matter of like a 2-hour period. My heart almost blew out of my chest as I was going over the Mount Hope Bridge to get another coffee.
I'd be making trucker bombs too.
Now, I do want to ask how your Thanksgiving went, Mr. Jones.
It was great. Really, really laid back and did so much overeating to the point where, as I mentioned to you earlier today, butterball was coming out of my pores. I was out on the treadmill at the gym. When I started sweating, I could smell like gravy and, sweet potatoes. It was literally coming out of my blood.
Now, you see, fortunately for me this year, it was at someone else's house.
Nice.
So we ate. Don't get me wrong. I ate the hell out of that turkey. But when we were done, we packed up our stuff.
Hell
we
yeah.
went home and left the leftovers there. So we would have to go out to eat and do more investigating for today's show. Yeah, it's definitely. I think everyone's turkeyed out at this point.
And did you do anything the night before? Because I always have Chinese food the night before Thanksgiving, except for this past year. We didn't. Every Chinese food joint was packed.
You know, I can't even remember what I did the night before.
That's a good sign.
I know there was alcohol involved, but I honestly cannot remember what I did Wednesday night.
It was only.
I know. It's like my wife has to spur my memory for me. Otherwise, I don't remember crap. So, but one place, you know, after Thanksgiving was over, the next day, we literally laid around the house. We did not leave the house except to eat, and we went to like the Chinese buffet.
Talk about living the dream.
Yeah. We literally got dressed, went out to eat, got back home, got undressed, and went back to bed. That was my entire Friday. I was supposed to work. I was supposed to drive for Uber that night, and I was, no, that's not happening.
You mean you weren't out fist fighting people to get a Cabbage Patch Kid or anything like that?
Well, you see, here comes the funny part. Friday night or Thursday into Friday, which is why we were so tired. Mm-hmm. My wife wanted to go Black Friday shopping with her sister, my niece, and like a couple other people. So, being that I've got the school bus, I said, all right, everyone pile in, I'll drive. So we get to the mall. Actually went to another place up on Route 2 first. And you could just tell by the younger kids, they had that deer in the headlights look as they were going through the first store. And, oh my God, what are we looking at? Now, we've been warning them ahead of time. Look, if you're just going to stumble around, we're going to take your butts home. So they stumbled around at one store. Then we got to the mall, and not only were they stumbling around deer in the headlights, but then they got an attitude. So I drop them off at the mall. I get gas in my truck 'cause I'm not going to the mall. I'll deal with the traffic and parking and everything else. I'll run. You got bags? Give me a call. I'll run in, grab the bags, run them out to the truck. But I'm not going to deal with crowds. I don't deal with crowds well, if you haven't.
Now, have you read online that people have actually been hiring Uber drivers to go Christmas shopping so they don't have to circle the lots?
Yes. I've made a lot of money. Saturday,
it makes sense.
Saturday, I brought in close to almost $300, $400 in a 12-hour period. Just because going back and forth to the malls, back and forth to the airport, back and forth to the train station. It was absolutely amazing. But, yeah, my niece and the girls that were there, they got an attitude. So right after I filled up the truck with gas and sucked down a couple of cups of coffee, and it's like 2 a.m, and it's like, all right, screw it, we're going home. I couldn't sleep all night because of 2 cups of coffee, 3 cups of coffee, and everything else. So we just said to hell with it. I stayed up as until the coffee wore off. I went to bed at like 6 a.m. So yeah,
that's awesome.
We stayed home all day Friday, but Saturday, like I said, I got up, I got into the truck. I started driving Uber, and I made an absolute killing. Just short trips back and forth to the mall, back and forth.
Maybe it's my maturity level, but there's just something so satisfying about going to bed at the time where you'd normally be waking up. I love it.
Yes, I do love that as well. But you know what? We're going to cut to a break. When we get back, I'm going to tell you about all the burger spots that I hit and a few other places that I've been to in the last couple of days. And also,
did you have any veggie burgers?
No. We're going to leave here with a little bit of, let's see, it's 33 Leaves is the name of the band. I don't know if they're the smokable type. That was a Dave Death reference. The name of the song is Short Life. We'll be back in a minute. Night-Outers. That's Adapter, Be My Prey. Before that, we had 33 Leaves, Short Life. Now, like I said, I put myself in harm's way on the regular for your listening entertainment. And this, the last 2 weeks, because I didn't do a show last week, this is no exception. Now, the most recent place that I've been to that I really have to tell you about, and it's going right on the theme of the burgers, which I'm going to be talking about pretty much most of the show. The place I went to is Tavern on the Hill. That's 809 Nooseneck Hill Road in West Greenwich. Now, it's
So in True Island form, I need you to place that for me by telling me what it used to be.
I have no idea. I can actually tell you I went to a wedding up on second floor, and there were ghosts in the pictures because second and third floor is really haunted over there to the point where the staff will not go up onto second and third floor.
And how far is it up?
Do you know where the fire station is just before the cemetery?
Okay, yep.
Right there on the right-hand side as you're going south.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
So now that we have the Rhode Island directions out of the way, now I went there. I was just in a miserable mood, and I just wanted a nice big burger. And I got what's called the Paul Bunyan Burger. Now, it's your typical cheeseburger topped with bacon, lettuce, and tomato. However, they don't use the ordinary bun. Au contraire. They make 2 grilled cheese sandwiches with Texas toast. So this burger comes out, they have to hold it together with a steak knife because the thing is so tall. Now you have your choice of fries, coleslaw, or my favorite, which what I went for, was the onion rings. Now, that in itself is more than enough for anybody but me. We had to go for the loaded fries. Now, if you haven't eaten, if you have a queasy stomach, you may want to brace yourself on this one. The loaded fries comes in a plate. It's got to be 8 to 10 inches across, heaped with fries, almost a full bowl, if not a little bit more than a full bowl of chili on top, cheddar cheese, jalapenos, and sour cream. Now, the loaded fries were only $8. The burger was only $11. And I don't even know what my wife had. I had one beer to go with it because I just couldn't drink it. I could not physically put anything else in my body. That's how full I was when I left the Tavern on the Hill yesterday. We'll call it a late lunch, early dinner. And I didn't eat again until this morning. And even at that, I only had a little bit of food because I was still stuffed from the burger.
That's good prices, too. Burger. It seems like as burgers become more in vogue, you see the prices going up and up and up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, their starting price, classic burger, is only about $8. Now, they have regular sandwiches, steak sandwiches, turkey sandwiches, BLTs, whatever. They're all about $8 to $10. The burgers, anywhere from $8 to $12. The one I had was $11.95. They do have one called the tractor pull where you have the half-pound...
tractor pulling your casket out of the
pretty
restaurant.
much. It's a regular half-pound burger with a full order of pulled pork on top, barbecue bacon cheeseburger.
Holy cow.
With pulled pork, onion rings, lettuce, and tomato. They got the bacon mac cheeseburger. Now, what really sets this place apart, and something that I really enjoy, but I didn't this time, was they have specialty hot dogs. What you can't put on a hot dog is definitely challenged here, because I mean they do everything from your typical chili cheese dog, the Big Pig, which is pulled pork, fried onion rings on top of your hot dog, fried jalapenos, the Greek hot dog, which is spinach, roasted red peppers, black olives, and feta on a dog. A chicken fried dog, which I almost got because it is a battered and fried soggy. Oh. And they use soggies, so they snap when you bite into them on top of it. Now, if you can eat 4 dogs in one visit, you get a coupon for a free hot dog.
I might be able to pull that off.
Oh, I know I could definitely do the 4 dogs.
I owned a few Spike shirts back in the day. That's all I'm saying.
Now, this is just one of the spots I hit. I got to say, Saturday, before I started driving, you have to spend time with the missus, especially on a long weekend. And she wasn't going for the burger, so we had to do some Indian food. So we went to India, which is right up on Hope Street, east side of Providence. They do a wonderful brunch buffet.
Yeah.
It's only like $15, $16. And, the typical, the filler, they have the soup, the cucumber salad, the naan, bread, baked to order. But the stuff that I really go for, they have the samosas, the chicken tikka masala, tandoori chicken was really good. The saag paneer is really good. The one that really caught my eye or caught my palate, Saturday, was the gosht, Gosht. It's actually goat. So if you're not into it, no big deal. But I was kind of really into the goat, and it was really good. Nice spice to it. Everything is spiced nicely, but it's not going to set you free.
Doesn't make your nose run.
Yeah. So that was my Saturday. Again, that's India on Hope Street on the east side of Providence, right down from Thayer Street. Definitely worth a stop. They do a weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., and it is only $15.95 per person. So if you want to check that out, definitely worth it. We're going to take a break here. When I get back, I'm going to hit the rest of the burger joints because I know you're dying to hear about them, but they're not as fresh in my mind. I wanted to get the 2 fresh ones out of the way first so I can get into a little bit of detail with a good number of other burger joints. We're going to leave here with a song from the band 3 Parts Dead. The name of the song is Feed. We'll be back in a minute.
Lost sense of balance out the door.
All right, my night outers. We still haven't
Don't
gotten all
blame
the.
me.
No, it's all me. I have not gotten it down pat just yet, but we're getting it. We're getting closer. That was Kilgore, Metamorphosis, and that was the unreleased demo from 1994.
Wow.
Before that, we had Three Parts Dead. Name of that song was Feed. Now, if you'd like to get your music on My Night Out Radio or even on rifreeradio.org, you definitely want to send it to me, so I can check it out and I can disseminate it to the proper authorities through the radio station at MyNightOutRadio@Verizon.net. Also, you want to check out the website, MyNightOutRI.com, for all your upcoming events and local needs on that. Facebook /MyNightOut. Also, Twitter and Instagram, which I do have open. If you're listening, you want to get a hold of me, just send me a message. I will definitely see what's going on. In fact, I have it in my hand right now, my phone in my hand. I have to clarify because some of you, like Mr. Jones here, is a little bit on the sick side, and they're thinking all sorts of horrible stuff. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of new tweets coming in, but nothing that pertains to the show. Same thing with Instagram. A lot of great pictures. In fact, who is it? Oh, the zombie Batman from Comic-Con. So, anyways, and that's that DJ Psycho Eddie. Now, I got to give you guys advance warning, fair warning, and I'm going to be warning you for the next couple of weeks. The Monday before Christmas. I'm not even sure of the date on that, but it's the Monday before Christmas. Looks like it's going to be on the 18th. That show, you're definitely not going to want to have the kiddies near the radio at that point.
Or grandma.
Oh, no, grandma, unless you're trying to, send her on her way. I am going to be playing some of the most raucous, somewhat X-rated Christmas music, the debaucherous Christmas that you always wanted. And we've always talked about doing the most offensive Christmas show possible.
Now, I remember quite a few years ago now, we did a live show at Blazers Billiards called A Very Twisted Christmas. And I remember some of the screwed up Christmas songs we pulled out for that event.
I'll just give you one of the names of the songs that I played, which was Frosty the Pervert. There's another one, Grab Your Balls Like Michael Jackson. So those are just two of the songs you may or may not hear. I haven't gotten the final cut on that show yet, but you definitely want to keep an eye out for it. It is coming. It is not going to be for the kiddies. I'm going to warn you ahead of time. There will definitely be an explicit tag on
Not
that
for the
one.
faint of heart.
And you just, it's going to be a train wreck, and you're not going to want to miss it. Now, continuing the burger abuse to my body. Now, as some of you who have seen me know that I can definitely take down burgers like a lion takes down an antelope. So, in no particular order, because they're all good. They all have their, if I'm talking about them, they're good enough where I'm recommending you to go see them.
If they've made it to the show, there's something.
Yeah. There is absolutely, there's only one or two places I've actually given you the warning not to go to on this show because they were that bad. Other than that, if it doesn't strike a chord, I'm not going to talk about it. But the first one I'm going to talk about is Harry's Burger Bar in Providence.
Oh, yeah.
There's two of them actually in Providence. One on North Main Street. The other one is on Atwells Avenue. Now, instead of doing the full burger that we're used to, they're doing the sliders. Now, you can get either 2 or 3 sliders. They do the shoestring potatoes or onion strings. They're really good. 2-3 bites, but quality meat. The buns lend to the flavor. It's not, just a piece of bread. The buns that they're sitting on are actually really good. And, they're fresh. It's one of those places where, you go, you have a couple of beers, you have a couple of sliders. Now, it definitely hits the sweet spot. If you walk out of there either hungry or thirsty, you've done it to yourself. No one has done that to you. Another place, which actually this is the ideal time of year to go because now all the tourists are not in in the southern half of the state right now. When,
Yep.
you know, Narragansett, when the tourism is in full swing, you've got to get to the beach at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not getting a parking spot anywhere near the beach. But this is Crazy Burger. This is on Boone Street in Narragansett. Now, I've been here a few times. They do a very good breakfast to begin with. But I went and I actually had a couple of their burgers. They have vegan dishes. There is a juice bar as well. But their actual burgers, every one I've had, again, in fact, I've even had a salmon burger there. Was excellent. So that's another place. This is, again, this is Crazy Burger in Narragansett. Let's see. The Abbey in Providence. Now, I stumbled across this one as part of the burger throwdown with Rhode Island Food Fights. And it's one of those places I don't want to promote them because of, you know, they kind of did a fast one with the burger blowout.
Oh, yeah, I remember
and they
that.
stopped honoring their commitment to the burger blowout. However, I did go there. They do have a lot of really good beers on tap, a lot of really good bottled beers, and their burgers are quite substantial. They got a really good seasoning on the fries. They do have more than just, you know, pub grub. They do have more of a dining experience, but when you look around, you know, there is all beer paraphernalia on the walls and you know, like Jim Beam and pictures of the locals. All your condiments come in the 6-pack for the beer 6-packs. So it is definitely a pub, but they do have really good food. Julian's right on Broadway in Providence. It's not a place that you would expect to have the burgers, but they have excellent burgers. It's kind of a hipster spot, I'm not going to lie.
Especially in breakfast, brunch.
Yeah. But they do the steak fries or the bigger potato wedges. It's not the smaller shoestring fries. You know, you get the nice big pickle spear with it. And their burgers are pretty substantial. You know, there's not a lot you can really say about a burger. It is, you know, 2 pieces of bread, usually a bun. You know,
sometimes a grilled cheese.
well, yeah, you can upgrade on that. But what makes a burger so good, to me, is actually when the juice from the meat itself gets into the bread.
Oh, yeah.
And that way, you know, when you're biting into it, you actually... it sounds gross when I say it, but it's got the squish. You know, the bread's soaking it up, but it's still holding together. You know, it's a very good vehicle. It's very, you know, utilitarian. You know, you can go crazy with it, or you can go really basic, meat, bread, cheese, condiment, done. But let's see, Blackie's Bulldog Tavern in Smithfield.
Not too far for me.
Well, you could pack a lunch to get there, can't you? But Blackie's, they do that fancy, you know, when they make the burger, then they wrap it so it doesn't get all over you.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't work. Just to let you know, once you get down to the paper and you start tearing the paper down, it's going on your shirt. Now they do the house. It looks like a house fry, potato chip looking thing. They salt them really well. They're really good. The burgers are, again, you start running out of things. You know, running out of descriptive words. I am not a thesaurus. I do have a limited vocabulary, believe it or not.
It's kind of like hot dogs where the burger is either quality or it's parts is parts.
Yeah, well, hot dogs, pizza, burgers, they all fit into pretty much the same category of, even if it's crappy, it's still pretty good.
Even if it's not good, it's good.
Yeah, I mean, short of a vegan tofu burger on a farro bun, you're really not going to turn me off with a burger.
Yeah.
Let's see, Chomp and Warren, another one. They stack their burgers tall. You get the double cheese there. You know, it's a little more refined, snooty. Take your pick, somewhere in between the two of them.
Pinkies up.
Yes, it's definitely a pinky out experience. Now, one of the places I really like going and I go there quite on the regular. I'm almost embarrassed to say, because you really don't hear me talk about it all that much. It's the Muse Tavern, which is right down in Wakefield. Now, they have a few vegan dishes on the menu. They have actually a pretty extensive menu. But you can't go wrong with the burgers, which, you know, they were voted best burger in South County for 16 years.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, what am I going to say that doesn't say? Now, the best part is they have about 69 beers on tap.
Yeah.
Plus bottles and everything else. So that's another definite place to hit. One of the downtown places that I like hitting quite a bit is Lux Burger.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a place where you can get everything from a chicken breast to a normal burger to a Kobe beef burger. You make your own. They give you a sheet of paper. You pick your own toppings, what you want. You are building your burger. The only thing you're not doing is actually physically putting it together. And they actually have really good Bloody Marys. The fries, I always ask for them to get well done because otherwise, for me, they're a little bit on the pale side if they're not well done over at Lux Burger. Brick Alley Pub in Newport. Is that too far for you?
No. Newport's actually closer to me than Providence, so we're good on that side.
All right, so the Brick Alley Pub is another good one for me. I've been there probably like 2 or 3 times this year, once within the last 2 weeks, because, well, I just happened to be in Newport driving, and, well, you get hungry.
And like you just mentioned with South County, it's a great time to go to Newport. I was there over the weekend, and I don't want to say it was a ghost town, but it wasn't. You could definitely tell it was all locals.
You can find parking on the main drag.
The hustle and the bustle of tourist season, those folks are all long gone.
Now, you see, South County in general isn't too bad until you get to where the main, where all the shops are.
Yeah.
Where you get to the actual tourist place. Newport, on the other hand, whether you're in right where the tourist shops are or anywhere else in Newport, it is a madhouse.
Yeah, it's more spread out. Yeah.
It is definitely. It's one of those places where if you can find a parking spot, Uber from there.
Because it's largely safe, so it's not like when you go to other tourist areas and you best be sure you only stay in the tourist areas. Newport, you got free reign.
Yeah, Newport is pretty well policed. The only thing I can say is police do not like Uber drivers in Newport.
And just ask anybody about how well policed Newport is if they've ever been out with an open container of alcohol. They crack down on that.
Actually, we got a couple of friends that have fallen victim to the open container.
That got some home confinement because he had an open container.
But yeah, those are just a couple of the. There's a few other places that I hit. The one up in used to be Gagne's. Now it's oh crap! I'm going blank here. See, this is what happens when I don't write stuff down. Up in Pasco Cafe.
Not too far.
Yeah, I know it's too far for you, but for me, it's definitely right in the sweet spot because they do they're still doing, I think it's like $6 or $7 for burger, fries, and a beer.
When we went out that way for Paracon, I was thinking about sleeping in my car overnight.
Well, when you're coming back from Paracon, you can hit.
Yeah.
So definitely, in fact, I think I did on Saturday on my way home. I hit Pasco Cafe, and again, it's the ubiquitous, the utilitarian meat, bread, cheese, but the ambiance is not there. It is definitely a dive bar.
You're not going to have your rehearsal dinner for your wedding at the Pasco Cafe.
Well, it depends if you fall into the multi-toothed category. But at that, I'm going to digress. I'm going to go back to some music before I get myself into trouble. We're going to leave here with a little bit of music from Death by Fame. The name of the song is My Only Love. We'll be back in a minute. All right, my night outers. That was It Lives, It Breathes. I'll tell you what you want to hear. Before that, we had Death by Fame, My Only Love. Now, again, if you want to be part of the show, if you have something you want to get out there, if you want to promote an upcoming event, if you want to get some of your music out there, you definitely want to hit me up, MyNightOutRadio@Verizon.net, and I do share all the music that is sent to me with the other DJs here at rifreeradio.org. Also, you want to check out the website for all your upcoming events, MyNightOutRI.com, Facebook /MyNightOut, Twitter and Instagram, DJ Psyco Eddie. It is open if you guys want to get in touch with me with something I can actually use on the air.
There's a lot of good stuff coming up between now and the end of the year, including the Midday Social.
That's right. You got the Midday Socials coming up. You got quite a few things that I want to be part of. However, I got to see how it fits into my schedule, because even though I am no longer doing live events, I have a lot of crap going on. In fact, this Saturday I have an event coming up where I will be checking out a relatively new dining venue. You're familiar with Roma Foods on Atwells Avenue.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, upstairs, did you know there is a hall?
No.
Upstairs from Roma Foods is the Roma's Hall for private functions, and I'll be there this weekend, mostly for the martinis.
That sounds awesome.
They have a dirty martini over there. Now, when you import the olives, and there's so much salt on them that you can like bite the olive and crunch the salt that's on the inside.
Back of your head.
Oh my God, the dirty martinis there are excellent. I cannot say enough about them.
And then a few weeks ago on your very program, you talked about a crowdfunding effort for the food hall on the west side of Providence, and they raised all the funds for that. So it looks like in the coming years, at least, we'll have that to look forward to. That's going to be cool.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was actually going to be bouncing that off.
Because I think it's us that caused it to hit the funding
Of
goal.
course
That's
it
what I'm
is.
saying.
Because we are world renowned. I just made that word up, so it didn't take as much traction as I thought it would. Okay, we're going to leave that. We'll leave that alone. But like I said, with Christmas coming up, I am going to be doing more festive stuff. I might throw a few Christmas songs in the month of December, but on the 18th, be prepared. That's all. The best I can tell you is just be prepared.
Now, are you still in possession of a Santa suit?
Negative.
Oh, that's too bad. I was going to say maybe this should be one that we video stream, and you could spin those choice cuts of Christmas music while dressed as Santa Claus.
Only if I can be the inebriate Santa that I usually am at the live events that I've done in the past, because they are deep cuts, and mostly on the wrist. I can't thank you guys enough for listening in. If you're listening to this live, you now know that we have switched to Mondays to do the live podcast, 7 to 8 o'clock. We are on Spreaker. We are on YouTube. Where else are we?
iTunes, of course.
iTunes.
Yep.
My shows as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
wow. Yeah, you can catch me. We're finding out things together.
Well, actually, let me say, iTunes is pretty strict, so I haven't checked lately to see if they've thrown you off of there. So as far as I know, you're on iTunes, and I did send you the link.
Yeah, okay.
But the link is so confusing that it's easier just to mention iTunes, and people know what to do.
It's on iTunes, people. Look me up. If I'm not there, go to Spreaker. You can download it there as well. That's about it. Thanks again. It's been an awesome hour to have you guys listening in. We're going to leave here with something I picked up 2015. I was at the Warped Tour. This is called...
Next year is the last year.
I know. That's messed up. There's a lot of things closing down.
Yeah.
Man. But this is a song called Bukowski. Not to be confused with other things that sound the same. The name of the band is Moose Blood. Thank you for listening, everybody. I'll catch you next week.